gentlemen, grab your seeds and grab your gum, because it's time for the Dirt and Turf Podcast. Happy Easter, everyone. I'm Cobra. And joining me tonight is Kat, Tylor, as always. And stepping off the ice is Alex from Biscuits and Penalties, coming to Dirt and Turf. Say hello, everyone.
Hello. Hey, how are we doing tonight?
Great to hear from y'all once again. Once again, it is spring is in the air. It's Easter week, as always. Of course, special shout out to Sound Man Keith. Who is on Easter. He's on Easter vacation right now. But as soon as he gets back, we will be publishing our episodes to Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. So please give us a listen, show the channel some love, and show Keith some love. So there you go. Some very, very interesting things going on in baseball. Let's start off with the Yankees. Mainly Jazz Chisholm getting suspended for basically being on his phone and tweeting about his suspension or about his strikeout call. That was, probably a bad call. But that is a big no in the baseball world because, hey, stay off your phone when you're in the dugout.
It's like a big no. Don't stay off your phone while you're at work.
Exactly. Yeah. As much as a lot of people like to peruse the Reddit and probably go somewhere you should go, there's a reason why it's work, and there's a reason why that your phone is your phone. So, guys, if you're gonna do
stay
that,
off your phone.
Just stay off your phone. Save it for when you get. Save it for when you get into your car and get away from your work. And listen to our podcast. If you want to. Do that. There's better things to do.
I have a broken thumb.
I think all of us do.
I took a line drive. I took a line drive to the hand.
Oh, nice. And speaking of line drive to the hand, there is definitely someone delivering a line drive. That would be famous responsible gambler Shohei Ohtani going on paternity leave because he is expecting a baby boy. Almost said baby boy. But, congratulations to famous responsible gambler Shohei Ohtani. May you forever be responsible in your gambling aspects. And always remember, if you don't wrap it up, it's a 9-month problem. Then it becomes an 18-year problem. Just saying.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I like kids. I have no problem.
I don't need kids right now. Anyway.
It's like there's gambling your money away.
I'm the youngest one in here, unless Alex is younger than me.
Anywho, I'm working on kids. Don't worry about that.
Anyway, I want to get in. Can we get in some breaking news that I found out this morning?
Go ahead, Tylor.
So, breaking news from MLB and ESPN and a YouTuber called Brody Brazil. Portland, Oregon got approved by MLB for an $800 million new stadium outside of Portland.
Oh.
Could this be a return? Could this be a return of the Portland Mavericks? Is Kurt Russell on the phone?
Maybe, but anyway, I found this out, and I actually think it's really cool. I haven't gotten a chance to check out the renderings, but the renderings look awesome. So my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think teams relocating, or do you think they're buying into the expansion?
Well, hold on. Before we we're gonna break this down one by one. We're gonna start with Kat. We're gonna go to Alex, go to Tylor, and then we'll finish with my thoughts on the whole thing. Kat? Floor is yours.
I honestly think that they're probably planning ahead, and they're probably going to be an expansion team. But I don't, how far ahead are they planning? Are we talking like they're going to be 8 years ahead of time and the whole
They're
city?
breaking ground. They're breaking ground next year.
That might be a little wishful thinking, but I guess we'll find out.
All right, Alex, your opinion.
I think it's going to be a team that's moving. We've seen multiple leagues do this. The Oakland A's going to Vegas. The Coyotes going to Utah. Who could it be? Could it be a team leaving the powerful city to find a better life up northwest near, the Mariners up there in Washington? I think this is will be a relocating team. Which one? I don't know. But there are a lot of teams that are impoverished states forever being garbage cans that want a new life for them.
That's fair.
Okay.
Tyler?
My personal thoughts is I personally am on the expansion thing because the Athletics are going to Vegas or probably going to Vegas. It's still not fully confirmed yet. Tampa Bay is staying in Tampa for the time being. They're just getting the Trop refixed. But now I think about it, I think they're going to be like a Portland Maverick. I do agree. I think they're like a Portland Mavericks or something like that. So give Seattle Mariners a rivalry series. So there's just like the Beltway series or the Subway series.
Right.
I think it's kind of cool the fact that they're doing that. Give the Pacific Northwest another team instead of just having the lone team in Seattle.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I also agree that it's a potential expansion team. I don't think it's going to be I definitely don't think it's going to be as slow as Tampa, if that makes sense. Because Tampa had a slow wait. That's why the Tropicana Field is so shit. It's because it actually took 10 years for Tampa to get approval to have a baseball team. That is true. Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
Tropicana
that's
Field
why
was
they're
built
starting
10
now.
years
The Tropicana Field literally got approved like 2 years before the Rays came a team.
No. Way before that.
Or no, wait. That's right. Way before that. My bad. You're right.
Yeah, it was like 10 to 12 years before the Tampa Bay Devil Rays existed.
Yeah.
So again, that's definitely something to take a look at. I do believe that there will be an expansion draft in the future for the MLB for maybe 2, maybe 4 teams in the future. We probably will see baseball go from 30 to 36.
Maybe not 36, but 32 or 34, I think.
Yeah, by this decade. By the end of this decade.
Speaking of, can I actually add on to this before we move on? Because
Omaha
has serious interest. Same with what was the other one? Utah, Salt Lake City has some interest.
Salt Lake City, Tennessee.
Yep, Nashville, and the other big one is Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Sioux Falls? How the fuck they enter the picture?
I had not heard about South Dakota.
Yeah, again,
that one's just a room. That one's just a rumor. I actually don't know how true that one is, but I know Omaha, Nashville, Salt Lake City are the 3 big ones after Portland.
Wow.
Right,
and Maine might be another one too.
And I know that speaking and getting into more baseball news. Fuck, we gotta bring him in, don't we?
No.
Yinzer, give me.
No.
I paid him $20 for his
Shut
beer,
up,
so
Bradford! I'm coming in to talk Paul Skeens. Why the fuck is that Jagoff now tanking? Just because the Pirates gone to Super Bowl doesn't mean that he has to tank his life away. Lowell Mets ain't going to get him. Yankees ain't going to get him because you already got one of our cast-off Jagoffs, Garrett Cole, and
what?
Jameson
Probably
Coyote.
because you're rooting for him.
I am rooting for Paul Skeens. One of the greatest motherfuckers to ever chug a beer. But man, it's almost
Yinzer,
like
go
we're
check.
back to the. Shut up, Tyler.
Yinzer,
It's
go
almost
check your
like we're back
PayPal.
to the It's almost like the cocaine-induced antics of our mascot. What the fuck are the Pirates doing, you fucking jagoffs? See you at the hard count. Steelers got Super. Fuck you,
Good luck with
Redbird.
that. Good luck with that, Yenzer. Good luck.
Anyway, I do.
Shit.
Speaking of Paul Skeens, I do want to talk about that a little bit. Who wants to go first on that one?
Same order.
Okay.
Cat. You better talk before Yinzer comes back.
Oh, please no. So I feel like this happens in every major sport. We all have this like one player who we're all like really excited to see how they do, and they have like a really great season, and then the next season they maybe not necessarily tank every time, but they can't keep it together. And I think this year it's Paul Skeen's turn.
100%. I agree.
Valid. Tyler.
Now, my personal opinion, I think the reason.
Hold on. I think I screwed up the order. Hold on. Alex, I'm sorry. Tyler, wait a bit.
Sorry, you're good.
In my personal opinion, the Pirates are pirating. They seem to always find good gems of players. Andrew McCutcheon, Paul Skeens have one or two good seasons, and then they just fall off the face of the earth. Not sure if it's a Pittsburgh thing because they seem to have all good players, either at CT and use their minds, or just fall into the kind of irrelevancy, and then we never hear about them ever again. So I think this is just.
To add to that, you have a great pitcher, then all of a sudden he gets testicular cancer.
That's what literally done anything to do with it, or it's just Paul Skeens realizing that the big leagues are bigger than he is, and he can't live up to the hype that he was at LSU.
Yeah. Now, Tyler.
My personal opinion is I don't think he's struggling because he's in a sophomore slump. I think he's struggling because he's worn out because he throws so hard because that's the new meta of baseball. Pitcher, have you noticed the skyrocket since like what 2014? The skyrocketing amount of pitchers getting Tommy John surgery because they're throwing so hard.
Doesn't he throw 102 miles an hour?
So I think his body's like I think because he had to carry the freaking Pirates last season that his body's worn out and he's not as effective because I don't think he really recovered. And he throws like 100 miles an hour every game. He throws like 100 mile an hour, 100 pitches into a game.
I mean, yeah.
So, but
So
if
do
you
you
think
think
about
it's a case of him being overworked?
a little bit, yes, because he's really the only pitcher the Pirates have right now that's actually good.
Pitcher they have?
Only
Paul
good
Skeens,
one.
literally, I don't even know their rotation. All I know is Paul Skeens. That's it.
That's and to be fair, the Pirates are the Pirates. Alex is right; they are pirating. I personally think that that Paul Skeens he does want out.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't either. And
I
Cat just left. But mother-in-law's calling. Okay. So let's when Kat gets back, I want to talk to her about a bobblehead that appeared at Oriole at the Cat Camden Yard. So
Can I bring up
uh,
a game to talk about?
yeah, actually, before we get to the standings, go ahead, Alex.
I just want to talk about the Diamondbacks and Cubs game that was earlier today. The Cubs blew a lead late in the game. The Diamondbacks hit a grand slam. They were down by 2. The Cubs starting pitchers almost blew that game. The bullpen had to save them from being completely embarrassed by the Diamondbacks, who looked pretty good this year with their hitting crew. The Cubs ended up winning 13-11. But I was looking at the Cubs score and I was like, how did the starting team pitcher almost kick rocks and blow this with a massive lead? They were like 7-1, I think it was. And they gave up like 10 runs in the 8th inning, and the bullpen did their job and saved the game. But that is embarrassing for Cubs fans to see the team almost blow it and then make them happy again in a matter of an inning and a half.
Oh my God, these standings, dude! Holy.
We're gonna get to it in a minute. Hold on.
You will be surprised about it, just to say the least.
I
This
just took
base
a
of
look.
Arizona is looking good again this year. Could be a threat in October, but that's way too early to tell. That's just an early hot take.
All right.
The
So
all I'm gonna say is the White Sox are not the worst team in the MLB right now.
no, they're not.
Nope.
So we're gonna start. Since Kat is not here yet, Tylor. Basically, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of me just straight reading the entire standings, I am going to start with basically make sure everyone has this MLB standings in front of you. Alex, you too.
Okay,
Not
I have
performing.
them up right now.
All right, Tylor, break down the AL East.
AL East. Currently, the Yankees are 12 leading the AL East at 12-7. The Blue Jays are a game and a half back, 11-8. Red Sox are 10-10, 2.5 games back. Orioles 8-10, 3.5 back, and the Rays are 8-11, 4 games back.
Alex, you have the standings in front of you.
And leading the AL Central, surprisingly, the Detroit Tigers for hopefully longer than 30 seconds at 11-8. The
Pump the
Cleveland.
brakes a little bit. Hold up. Let me add to that. First off, the Detroit Tigers, I thought these guys were going to surprise people this year. They looked like they were going to make it pretty far. I think they were in the playoffs last year, weren't they?
Yeah, they got eliminated in the divisional series by the Guardians.
But still, they shocked people. Go ahead, Alex.
Cleveland Guardians a half a game back at 99. Kansas City Royals 3.5 games back, 8-12. The Twins 7-12, 4 games back, and the White Sox doing a White Sox 4-14, 6.5 games back.
And interestingly enough, they're doing a lot better than they were last year at this time.
Oh, by far.
Well, they have
I
4
think they
wins.
didn't have a win at this point last year.
They were 0-6. They were 0-18 before they won their first game.
Yeah. So, hey, all paths forward are taken by a single step. All right.
All right.
The AL West. Leading the AL West is the Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then.
Well, they have Jacob deGrom back and Max Scherzer back.
They
Well,
do.
that helps. Then Behind them, two games behind them is the Seattle Mariners, 10-9. Then behind them, 2.5 games back, the California Los Angeles of Anaheim, California, Los Angeles, 9-9 at 500. Then right behind them, 3 games back, the Vagabond Athletics, 9-10, 3 games back, and then the Houston Trash Bros, 8-10, 444 win percentage, 3.5 games back. All right. And
Can I do
still waiting.
the NL West?
So go ahead, do the NL. You want to do the West or the East?
I want to do the West.
All right, go ahead.
So the West, we got the Padres 15-4, 789 win percentage, and I want to tell you this right now: they are 12-1 at home.
Damn.
I mean,
And you got
well.
and then you got their usual Dodgers 14-6. They have a 700 win percentage. They're a game and a half back.
AKA
The Giants
home of Famous Responsible Gamblers Show it.
And then the third place in the standings, which is only half a game behind the Dodgers at 13-6, is the San Francisco Giants. The Diamondbacks are 12-8 with a 600 winning percentage and a 3.5 games back. And then, sorry Joey, but these are you're the fact that you guys are worse than the White Sox is sad. 3-15 Rockies at 1.16 or 0.16% win percentage and 11.5 games back.
All right, Alex, do the East.
Leading the East, and kind of surprising right now, all the Mets at 12-7. Is it the good spot for? Oh, I'm forgetting his name. It's on my brain now. Shoot, I'm brain dead, spacing at the moment. A game back to
Juan
them.
Soto. Juan Soto, you're
Soto,
talking
yes,
about?
Juan Soto regrets leaving at the Yankees.
I mean, New York to New York, it doesn't really make a difference. He just take a train back up there. I mean,
Wow, okay. Hot take right there. Holy shit. Those are fighting words there, Alex.
and
He's a Red Sox fan. I'll let it be.
a game back of them, the Philadelphia Phillies at 11-8. 3.5 games back of them. The Miami Marlins at 8-10 seem to be struggling with the team because Miami can't play baseball.
Wow.
5 games back on them. The Washington Nationals at 7.
Hey, Alex. I was gonna say you silent because you're speechless.
At 6.5 games back of the Nationals. The Atlanta Braves at 5-13. What are they doing in Atlanta? What is an offense doing?
Injured.
If you watch last week's episode, you'll find out what our thoughts were on the Atlanta Braves last week.
Yeah. And now for the NL Central, leading the charge is the other team from Chi-Town, the Chicago Cubbies.
The better one.
13-9, a 591 win percentage. A game and a half behind them, last year's Central Division champion, the Milwaukee Brewers, who are 10-9. Then 2.5 games back, tied for it, same record, is the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals, 9-10. Like I said, 2.5 games back. Although the Reds are better at in their last 10 than the Cardinals. And then you got the Pittsburgh Pirates, 8-12, 400 win percentage. Definitely not Mike Tomlin level of bullshit. Now let's go Super Bowl. Ginzer had to show up. All right.
Ooh. We should do a new segment starting next week. I have an idea next week.
Well,
anyway,
let's
continue.
let's talk about that next week. Right now we got to focus on our games
Love
of
of the weekend.
All right. So we have tomorrow Marlins, Phillies, Royals, Tigers, D-backs, Cubs, Mariners, Blue Jays, Reds, Orioles, Guardians, Pirates, Dodgers, Rangers, Cardinals, Mets, Nationals, Rockies, Yankees, Rays, and the Battle of the Sox, white and red, the Athletics and Brewers, Padres, Astros, Twins, Braves, and Giants, Angels.
Okay.
Okay, so what game are you focused on before we go into Easter? Starting with you, Tyler, then Alex, then myself.
Just one game or two?
Just one game.
Okay. I honestly am focused on the Dodgers and Rangers, honestly.
Ooh, nice. Alex.
That's going to be a great... That is Yamamoto versus Jacob deGrom, and that's going to be a really good game.
Based on what happened today in Chicago, I'm going with the Diamondbacks and the Cubs. Can the Cubs bounce back with their starting pitcher and have to give up runs so late in the game that the bullpen has to save their asses from losing? And the Diamondbacks continue to try to dig out of the hole of leading games, coming back in games, and then blowing it because the offense or defense can't do anything.
And for me, I'm going after Marlins and Phillies. It's a local matchup where I live, so why not? You know, it's easy to watch. It's easy to get a hold of, and probably my mom will be watching it as well.
I mean, why not? Because the Marlins are actually pretty good right now. So, I mean,
yeah,
why not? Now,
exactly.
actually, what I was going to suggest was, like, before we go...
Hey, no. Save your ideas for next time.
Okay. All right. All right. You got it.
Yep. Save it for next week because right now we gotta remind people that the Dirt and Turf podcast was brought to you by Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. With great flavors like backyard barbecue, cinnamon churro, sour cream and onion, dill pickle, garlic parmesan, lemon pepper, cracked pepper, and maple brown sugar, you can be sure that Smackin' definitely have your hookup. But you know, they don't just have those flavors readily available. They also have limited edition flavors. And still in the bullpen is ketchup flavor. You mad lads. I swear. But, hey, Smackin' Sunflower Seeds are Dirt and Turf's choice for sunflower seed. They're also the number one viral seed in the market. So why don't you give them a shot? Use our affiliate link in the bio wherever you get your podcasts to not only show the channel some love, but find out why Smackin' Sunflower Seeds are the viral sunflower seed on the market today. Check them out. Smackin'. All right. That's it for Dirt and Turf. Once again, happy Easter. I know it lands on 420, so be careful about what the Easter Bunny will have in your basket today. Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
Don't forget, we have our other podcasts as well. Biscuits and Penalties, our hockey podcast. We just finished that up recently. Also, The Lap Down, our friend Greg Farmer does a NASCAR and all other motorsport podcasts. So check him out as well. We also have the Social Slam podcast, our bi-weekly podcast where we talk wrestling. after WrestleMania happens, we will have the next week's breakdown and the fallout afterward. Don't forget, and also, we also have our football podcasts coming with the hard count. With the hard count doing a special post draft podcast this week, and before the season starts, Tylor will be hosting Passing the Pigskin, making its triumphant return to the Social Sports Pad podcast lineup. However, it is doing it in the college football realm. So, Tylor,
If you like college football, tune in starting in August.
exactly. And, of course, we can't do it without you guys. We can't do it without you listening to us on YouTube, on Spotify, checking us out on TikTok. Forever long that is, because the government, the reason nothing works.
Yep.
We also have other affiliates as well, not just Smack and Sunflower Seeds. But, and not only that, but if you miss our old host Ricky, he's on Twitch. Billy Styles 313 is his handle. We love you. He's doing a live reaction to WrestleMania, so definitely check him out on Twitch. Billy Styles 313. So, anywho, I'm Cobra. On behalf of Alex, Kat, and Tylor, let's play ball.
Play ball.